What's up, Bills Mafia? I got the players whose stock went up and the players whose stock went down following the 22-16 loss to the New Jersey Jets on Monday Night Football. But before we get to that, let's get to that intro.
This is Phase Ed Music.
Welcome to the Mafia Sports Report. I am Tommy. Please like, subscribe, hit that notification bell because I always forget to tell you. Well, Bills Mafia, I got the players whose stock went up and players whose stock went down following the Buffalo Bills' loss to the New Jersey Jets on Monday Night Football a few nights ago. And, man, a lot of stock down. So let's get to this. By the way, shout out to Bills Wire once again for creating this article. All right. Here we go. Stock down, Josh Allen. Rightfully so. In a game in which Allen started the game decently well, he finished the disappointing loss with 4 turnovers, 3 interceptions, and 1 fumble. By the way, should have been 4 interceptions. Throughout the game, Allen seemed to make good decisions except for the 4 plays that resulted in giving the ball to the Jets, especially in some of the throws to Stefon Diggs that were in double coverage. I agree. Listen, he almost threw one. I think it was to their linebacker. Was it Mosley? I think it was Mosley. In and out of his hands. So he should have 4 interceptions and a fumble. All the interceptions were just Josh trying to do too much. And the Jets were like, thank you, Josh. Just keep on throwing us the ball. We appreciate it, Josh. And listen, for as good as the Jets defense was, and they are very, very good, those turnovers by Josh Allen were self-inflicted. That was all Josh Allen's doings. I'm telling you. Even the fumble. Great play by the defense, by the way, for stripping the ball out of Josh Allen's hand. But Josh, first of all, it was a pretty good snap, in my opinion. It hit you right in the chest. You should have gotten. I don't know why you were turning your head. And secondly, you got the ball, falling the damn ball. Why are you acting like you're a fullback and getting the ball, scooping it up, and taking it in the heart of the Jets defense? What did you think was going to happen? You cannot continue to play this way. And, of course, he fumbled the ball and turned the ball over. Unnecessary turnover. Unnecessary. The interceptions were awful. Awful. The first one, I was like, it's like a punt. Fine. But the rest were awful. He had guys wide open. He chose to ignore them and take the harder pass, which is the stupider pass, really. Double coverage, triple coverage. It made no sense. I don't know what Josh was looking at last night or Monday night. Sorry. I have no idea. But that's not that you cannot win a game like that. Obviously, we didn't. You cannot be a top quarterback in this league playing like that. Josh needs to get this shit right. He needs to figure out what is going on mentally. And I talked about this before, but I think really it's him trying to prove to everyone that he can make that pass. He can be that guy. He could be the hero. And he has to stop thinking that way all the time. I mean, there's plays where he's, like I said, he could have ran out of bounds, avoided the hit. Instead, he wants to pick up 1 more yard. Unnecessary. No need to pick up the extra yard. And take an unnecessary hit that could either lead to him being injured or a fumble. Why? What was that important extra yard? The long 3rd down run that he did, he was like 6 yards short of getting the first down. He wants to hurdle defenders, try 3 of them. What are you doing there? Like, you're not hurdling all 3 guys. It's just I don't get what's going on sometimes in his head. And I hope he figures it out. But yeah, definitely stock down. week one. That was miserable. That was 2018 Josh Allen. I don't want to see that again. And by the way, last 2 years, really, I mean, this is dating back since 2021 under Brian Dable when he had 15 interceptions. So don't really all point at Dorsey and say, oh, because Dorsey's letting him do whatever he wants. He had 15 in 2021 and he had 14 in 2022. He's just being super careless with the ball. And I don't understand because he keeps telling us he understands he can't do that. He understands he needs to take what the defense is giving him. He understands he can't put the ball on the ground. He understands that he needs to slide more when he's running the ball, or that he needs to just go out of bounds, or he needs to throw the ball away when a play's just not there. He's telling us that. He's telling us what we want to hear, but he's not doing them. He has to figure this out mentally. This is a mental thing. Mentally, he needs to get over that hurdle of him just trying to prove everyone wrong, that he can make that play. He can, no matter what defense is out there, no matter how tough the throw, he can make it. Cannot continue to think that way. All right. So next on the board, stock down, James Cook. I agree. I think a lot of people thought James Cook played good in this game. Thought he was okay. I thought he was okay. I mean, honestly, guys, Devin Singletary, I think could have done better. I'm going to be real with you. I think Devin Singletary, though not as fast as James Cook, is more elusive, in my opinion, and he sheds off more tackles. James Cook cannot shed off a tackle for the life of him. I don't know if he's just too small of a back or he just doesn't have that strength yet. But as of right now, I'm concerned about the running back room because they didn't use Damian Harris. They one carry. Latavius Murray, who I think they should use more, only had a few carries. But anyways, let's get to this. Cook being listed as a stock down is less about him playing poorly, since he had a fine performance given how stout the Jets defense is, but above the relative lack of big plays that he was able to provide. Cook did have runs of 13 yards and 12 yards over the course of the game. But other than that, he was relatively ineffective. And I agree. Listen, there was plays where I thought that he could have got to the outside with his speed, and the Jets just caught up to him. So for as fast as James Cook is, he didn't show it against the Jets. There was plays where he had holes to hit, and he chose to go their opposite way. He was running into his offensive lineman all night. And I think his vision was just not there. I kind of felt like this was the James Cook early on in 2022 as a rookie. Because later on, I would say in the second half of 2022, James Cook started to see the field better. I felt like the game started to slow down a little bit more. He was more patient with his blocks, right? And I felt like this game, he was reverted right back to rookie James Cook, where he was just not following his blocks. He was being impatient, just not seeing the holes. And he has to play better if he's trying to be an RB1 in the NFL, because right there, you're not going to win, in the NFL with running backs like that. You just can't. You need better performances by your running back. So I agree. Stock down for James Cook. He showed nothing, in my opinion. All right, stock up. Wide receiver Stefon Diggs, of course. He's the only guy that showed out. Diggs was incredible all game long. While this is nothing new for one of the best wide receivers in the NFL, Diggs was almost impossible to cover no matter who was guarding him. Whenever Buffalo needed a big play, Diggs was open and ready to catch the ball. I agree. Listen, for everyone that was, talking about Diggs, including myself, about how, he handled the situation in the offseason, which I still stand by my word. I don't think he handled it correctly. Though I also agree with him on some of the things that he was frustrated about. And mainly it's coaching and direction of this football team. And week one, everyone concerned about him and Josh not being on the same page. They were definitely on the same page. I just think Josh Allen at times was trying to force the ball to Diggs a little bit too much when he had other guys wide open. And Diggs is all about winning, guys. He's all about winning. If we win that game and Diggs has 75 yards, let's say, But Davis has 75 or 80. And Kincaid has 60. Knox has a touchdown and 55. But we win the game. Diggs he's not complaining about he didn't get 100 yards receiving. We won the game. Like he wants to win a Super Bowl. He wants to win games. He could have had 200 yards. We lost. He still would have not been happy. I'm just saying, like Josh, I agree. Get the ball to Diggs. Get the ball to Diggs. I understand that. But when he's doubled and triple coverage, you have guys, playmakers out there. By the way, Trent Sherfield too, a guy that was having a great camp and nowhere to be found. Josh did not. I don't even think Josh threw to him one time. What's going on there? Josh has to look around at his teammates. He has to look, other than Diggs, he has to scan the field better. There's playmakers on this team. And for as much as, by the way, for as much as Dorsey didn't call the greatest game Monday night, I didn't think he called the worst game either. Go back, watch the film, guys. There was guys wide open. Though I think Dorsey needs to be more creative, and I think Dorsey still needs to be better at in-game adjustments. Dorsey knew all about this Jets team going into week one. He saw it in 2022 twice. There was no surprise coming with the New Jersey Jets, how they play. And yet Dorsey seemed confused and called very safe, generic plays, in my opinion. Now, guys were open. Once again, it's not all on Dorsey, but it's like, dude, where was your preparation? Where was the in-game adjustments when we needed them? You also got to help out Josh at times, too, with those. Just saying. All right, let's get to the next. Stock down, Ed Oliver. Golly, I agree. And Oliver did not pile up a bunch of stats, but he was disruptive all game long. Sorry, guys. Not only was he on a sack, but he also had a tackle for a loss, and he had 3 quarterback hits to show how much he was terrorizing the Jets' offensive line and backfield as well. They're almost saying stock up with the rest because it sounds like he did. Listen, here's the deal, man. I thought he played okay. I didn't think he played horrible in that game, but you just got a very good contract. I didn't think week one that was him showing his worth, in my opinion. He needs to do more. And though I thought he played okay, I didn't think he lived up to his contract week one. Will he improve going forward? We'll see. I like Ed Oliver, but he has to show more than this. He has to show more than what he's showing. All right, next one. Stock up, Matt Milano. I agree. Milano showed against the Jets why he's one of the best linebackers in the league. As usual, he was in on most tackles. But in addition to that, he did a good job in pass coverage as well. Milano picked off a pass for an interception, and he tried his best to track Jets running back Breece Hall out of the backfield. The only problem I had with Matt Milano in that game was, one, he cost us 15 yards after the interception by unsportsmanship or whatever, a penalty for John at Zach Wilson, uncalled for. You can't do that. Like, you made a great play and then you cost your team 15 yards. Stop. You're a veteran. You got to do better than that. Also, missed tackles. He had a few of them. Once again, you got to make those tackles, Matt Milano. You're better than that. We know you can make tackles. Matter of fact, when you make tackles, you make them count because you're probably one of the hardest hitting linebackers in the league, in my opinion. You're one of the most underrated linebackers in the NFL, in my opinion. You made some really good plays, but then you make some boneheaded missed tackles, some boneheaded, penalties like the 15-yard. You can't do that. But I did feel like he had a good game. All right, next up. Stock up, Leonard Floyd. Once again, I've been talking about him all season. While a sack on Aaron Rodgers will be replayed for the next week or so because of the injury of Rodgers, the play was a testament to how disruptive Floyd was throughout the game. Floyd had 1.5 sacks, 2 quarterback hits to show how much he utilized the speed to give Jets right tackle Mekhi Becton trouble. And I told you guys he was going to give him trouble. I told you Gregory Rousseau was going to give Becton trouble. Listen, Leonard Floyd was a great pickup by the Buffalo Bills. If we didn't get Leonard Floyd, this defensive line would be in some trouble, in my opinion. He was a great addition, and I cannot wait when Von Miller returns what they're going to do with Leonard Floyd, because I think you're going to see them all on the field at the same time a lot of the time. But yeah, excellent job by Leonard Floyd. He was definitely in the backfield a lot. He was disruptive. He made some sacks at 1.5. He's a guy that is showing why he's one of the best still in the NFL getting to the quarterback. So I love that pickup, and definitely stock up, and they're correct that. Stock up kicker Tyler Bass. Bass was lights out all game long, despite weather conditions not being the best because of the rain that took place before the game started. He made field goals of 40 yards, 34, and 50. Even though the 50-yard field goal was too close for comfort, as it hit the left upright before going through. And I agree with that as well. Like that, oh my God, that last kick, right? Hitting the upright, doing, and then going in. It's like, my God, your heart wants to stop, man. But he did a good job considering everything. He did his job. That's it. It's all you can ask for a kicker. Do your job. Don't kick it out of bounds on kickoffs, which he does here and there. He didn't do that this game. He made his field goals when counted. He made his one extra point on the one big touchdown we had. But he was clutch when we needed him. And that's all you can ask for from your kicker. All right, next up. Stock down. Wide receiver Gabe Davis. And by the way, this is not his fault, in my opinion. He made one bad route running. He did about he didn't do the best route running on the interception, but other than that, I felt like he just wasn't targeted enough. But anyways, Davis did not have the worst game in the world, as he had just 4 targets. But after having a catch going for 26 yards, showing that he could make a play against the Jets secondary. Finishing the game with just 32 yards seems like a letdown. Davis has to be the second best receiver on the team and be able to take advantage of matchup against opponents. Second best cornerbacks if Buffalo is going to make the playoff run. I agree. And once again, this falls on, in my opinion, Josh Allen. Gabe Davis was open a few times. Once again, go back, watch the film. He was. Josh Allen decided not to go his way. And then when he did decide to go his way, it worked, right? 26-yard gain, a big completion downfield. The only knock on Gabe Davis I could tell you is that route running at the end there that led to the interception wasn't the best by him. However, Josh should have never thrown the ball his way anyways. He had Stefon Diggs in the slant, wide open. And if he throws his way, we easily pick up the first down. We move the chains and we keep going forward. Instead, Josh Allen forces a ball to Gabe Davis. By the way, double coverage. And it's intercepted. Why not just take the easy out, take what the defense gives you, get the first down, and move the chains? This is something Josh Allen needs to get better at. But I kind of disagree on the stock down for Gabe Davis, because really, if you go with all the receivers except for Stefon Diggs, you could say stock down on every single one. But is it their fault? They were open. Josh just didn't throw them the ball. That's not. I don't think they're to blame. I think the one to blame is the quarterback. That's Josh Allen. He needs to do a better job. You have weapons now, right? We complained last year that there was no weapons for Josh Allen, and I agree with that. I think Stefon Diggs was his primary weapon, which is he's always a weapon. But outside that, Gabe Davis had a little rough stretch, right? Though I didn't think he played terrible. But other than that, right? Yeah, Crowder, who went down for the year broke his ankle. Isaiah McKenzie didn't play too good, right? And then we had to pick up Cole Beasley and John Brown off the streets out of retirement. It was not a good complementary wide receiver group. So what did we do? Go in the offseason, we picked up weapons for him. Trent Sherfield, who had a great camp. Hardy, who's one of the faster receivers in the NFL. We drafted Dalton Kincaid, who's like a hybrid tight end wide receiver. And he chose not to use his weapons. He chose to only dial in on his main weapon, Stefon Diggs. And though I like that, sometimes you have to also look around at your other receivers, your other weapons, because they're going to double and sometimes triple cover your best weapon. And that's why you have a number 2 receiver. That's why you have a good tight end. They're there for a reason, right? I just feel like, man, Josh Allen sometimes gets caught up in the emotion of things. He wants to just do things his way, and his way is failing a lot of the times. He has to correct that. He has to go through his reads better. Okay, read 1. Okay, boom. Diggs is double. Okay, boom. Gabe Davis, right there. Got it. All right. Dawson Knox, right? 5 yards. Fine. Let's get 5 yards. Let's pick up 4. Let's pick up 7. Instead, he's trying to get 20, 15, 30, 40, 50. Take what the defense gives you. It's okay to pick up 5 yards. It's okay to pick up 4, 6. Then you go over the big play. It's just like Josh continues to try to get this big play every time. He tries to always force the balls at times when it's unnecessary. He wants to prove a point out there. You got to stop doing that, Josh. Anyways, guys, who's your stock up, stock down? Am I missing anybody? I would say stock down too. I'm gonna throw some bonus out there. Special teams play, stock down. Terrible punt, and by Sam Martin, and terrible coverage on the kick. You got to make that tackle. By the way, Sam Martin with the 2-hand touch. Got to try to tackle that guy. I know you're a punter, but you were right there. It was poor job trying to make that tackle on the kick returner, on the punt returner. Terrible. So yeah, special teams definitely stock down. Even though Tyler Bass is part of the special teams, I still got to put stock down because ultimately they lost us the game in overtime. Poor job. And by the way, Sean McDermott preaches special teams, and yet we lose on a special teams play. Anyways, guys, Bills Mafia, I love you. And as always, go Bills. I'm out of here. Peace.